Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be Beauty and the Beast, number 2 would be The Boss Baby, number 3 would be Ghost in the Shell, number 4 would be Power Rangers, and number 5 would be Kong Skull Island. And I got 3 out of 5 of my predictions right, which is pretty good, but the 2 that I got wrong, I'm actually kind of surprised that I got wrong. So right off the bat, number 1 was actually The Boss Baby, which honestly surprised me. I didn't think that this movie actually looked appealing to most people. Obviously, it would be to kids, but I didn't think that parents would actually want to take their kids to see a movie called The Boss Baby, but apparently they wanted to. It made about, on average, what DreamWorks animated movies do on opening weekends. It made $49 million on its opening weekend, and that's a pretty good starter for this film, especially since it's on a budget of 125, and on the worldwide chart it is already at 70 million. So that's a pretty good start for this movie, but I'm honestly I'm shocked that it did this much. I'm surprised that it even was able to beat out Beauty and the Beast. But hey, good for it. I'm hearing some mixed things. Surprisingly, there are some people going, it's not too bad, but the majority is saying that it's not too good. So I'll see it at some point, because this is a movie that you can't really miss, not just because it's an animated movie, but the concept is just, it's so strange, and they got Alec Baldwin to play it, and it's, okay, moving on. Number 2 is Beauty and the Beast, which made a little bit under The Boss Baby. It made $47 million this weekend, but that still adds to a domestic total of $395 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $876 million. So it's not like The Boss Baby taking it down at number 1 is such a big thing. It's just kind of a surprising thing. Nonetheless, Beauty and the Beast is still the biggest moneymaker here, so that can't be taken away from it, and I'm still so glad that it's making so much money. It's only 124 million away from getting to $1 billion worldwide, and I'm thinking it's going to do that, like from how much, it's almost at 400 million right now domestically, so I'm thinking it'll probably be able to get to $1 billion, since it's still, like, this is like its third weekend and it's still like right there near the top, so I'm thinking it's going to make a lot more in the future. Number 3, however, no surprise here, Ghost in the Shell. Now, when I heard that they were adapting this anime, I thought this has potential to be a huge bomb, and so far, yeah, it's on a budget of $110 million, and domestically it made $19 million. On the worldwide chart, it is at $59 million, so it's not terrible, but still, that's not the strongest opening that I'm guessing they were hoping for. I don't know if they were planning to make a series out of these movies like the anime did, but if they were, this isn't really a good sign for it unless the worldwide numbers get big really fast. But I actually did see Ghost in the Shell this weekend. I didn't see the anime, but I did see the new movie, so from a person who hasn't seen the anime and has really no bias view towards it as just a guy who wants to see a good movie, it was fine. I might have a review later, so stay tuned. At number 4, we have Power Rangers. This weekend it made $14 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $65 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $97 million, so it's $3 million away still from getting its $100 million budget back, and it still needs to technically double that amount to be considered a success and to start making a profit. And apparently there's still some other release dates worldwide wise. I checked on IMDb, there's still some like April 7th release dates that'll probably bump that up, and apparently Japan is getting this thing in the summer, so that'll umph it up a little bit, but Power Rangers isn't going to be around for that long in the top 10 for me to talk about that. But still, this is still an okay run for the movie. I honestly wasn't expecting it to make a whole lot. I was expecting it to make a little bit more, honestly, but this is still fine for a freaking Power Rangers movie that actually is actually not terrible. It's a good movie, in my opinion. It's a decent movie, but I'm glad some people are actually going out to see it, even if it isn't the biggest success that maybe Lionsgate was hoping for. It's still doing okay as far as them making more movies. I'm not sure if they're gonna do that or not, but we'll see in the next coming weeks. At number 5, we have Kong Skull Island. This weekend it made $8 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $147 million, and on the worldwide chart is sitting at $406 million. Now, I've discussed this already. Technically, on the doubling budget of $185 million logic, it has already gotten its budget back and made more than that, but there are some reports saying that it needs to get to $500 million to break even. So technically, if we're going by that logic, it still needs $94 million more to break even, and I checked on the worldwide release dates, and it's already been released pretty much everywhere, I guess. So hopefully this movie keeps edging along to get to 500 million. I'd hate for this thing to bomb since they're leading up to the Godzilla versus Kong movie. I'm not sure if this is technically a bomb, though, because you have that logic of getting to 500 million to break even, but then the doubling budget, and that's not exactly 500 million. It's kind of confusing, but I try my best to say what's a bomb and what's not here on the show. Next up, what isn't a bomb for sure, number 6 is Logan. It made $6 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $211 million. And on the worldwide chart, it is at $576 million, so it's only $24 million away to getting to $600 million worldwide. That is so great. I'm so happy that Logan is making this amount of money. I'm hoping it gets to $600 million worldwide before it exits the top 10, but I think it'll get there in no time since it's only at number 6 after all. Number 7, we have Get Out, which made $5,813,000. That adds to a domestic total of $156 million. And on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $167 million. So it's slowing down a little bit. I'm not sure if it's going to get to $200 million before it leaves the top 10, but it probably will get really close. But either way, this movie is doing fantastically even as it's starting to leave the top 10. It is a huge success, and I'm sure Jordan Peele's really happy, so happy that apparently he's being considered for an Akira adaptation and the Flash movie, I've heard. So hey, that's not a bad position to be in if I were Jordan Peele. But anyways, number 8, moving on, was Life, which made $5,625,000. So this and Get Out are kind of close in the estimations, and that adds to a total of $22 million domestically. And on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $50 million. So you're probably thinking that's not too bad, but then you see the budget, it's at $58 million. And if you double that, technically in order to be a success, it needs to get to $116 million. And it's $66 million worldwide from getting there. I'm not sure if it actually will, honestly, because this movie hasn't been doing well at all at the box office, which is actually a little upsetting because there are some people like my buddy Nate from Stupid Beagle Reviews who really do love this movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm hearing good things, and I thought it looked really interesting from the trailers, and I still do want to see it at some point. Moving on to number 9, we have Chips, another bomb at the box office. It made $4 million this weekend. That adds to a domestic total of $14 million, and it's still only $11 million from getting its $25 million budget back, and $36 million from actually doubling that amount of budget. So that's not very good for this movie. Boo-hoo on Dax Shepard and Michael Pena, but they should have expected this to happen, I guess. I mean, when I saw the trailer, I was thinking, like, this isn't going to be huge at all. And I was right, it wasn't huge at all. And now moving on to number 10, the final one, The Zookeeper's Wife, the limited release movie. It made $3 million this weekend, and this is only on a budget of $20 million. Now I'm hoping I'm hoping that it expands because it's a movie I'm interested in seeing. It's not a movie I'm anticipating like all the way. It's a movie that I'm curious to see, but if it expands, then it'll probably be able to make that budget back. But right now it's sitting at $3 million, so we'll see how that goes in the next coming weeks. But now it's time for the fun part, the prediction for next week's top 5. And I'm going to say number 1 is Smurfs, The Lost Village. I'm going to say number 2 is The Boss Baby. Number 3 is Beauty and the Beast. Number 4, Ghost in the Shell. And number 5 is Going in Style. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave it in the comments below. And if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.